Yeah, hi guys. Today we want to talk about MTN. Now, MTN, or rather MTN Group, that's the name of the company, is a South African multinational telecom giant that has its headquarters in Joburg. It's South Africa, obviously. But beyond the fact that they are from South Africa, they operate in well over a dozen countries, probably over 20. Yeah, which are mostly situated in Africa and in some parts of Asia. So MTN are the ninth largest telecom group in the world by subscriber count. So they have well over 270 million subscribers, and they're huge. They're a big company. They were founded in 1994 anyway, I think a year ahead of Airtel. So but in Nigeria, basically, Nigeria is their largest market. They hold about a 35% share, and they have well over 75 million subscribers in Nigeria, active subscribers in Nigeria. So, they're big. MTN are huge, and they have got a lot of firsts in the Nigerian market because, well, I am from Nigeria. I use MTN. Basically, that's how I stay online. And on top of that, the Nigerian market is very important to MTN. Yes, according to Wikipedia, 1/3 of MTN's yearly 12 billion US dollar revenue comes from Nigeria. And obviously, why not? Nigeria is the largest, well, by population count, Black African country. We have well over 200 million people here. So Nigeria is important, and MTN knows this. It's why MTN have been around despite all of the hassles and the problem they've had with the NCC and all that, the fines. Nigeria is important, and MTN is important. Now that we have a little backstory on MTN, MTN have done a lot of good stuff in Nigeria. Well, let's read out their highlight reel. Well, what are the good stuff that MTN have done? Well, first, for starters, they are the pioneers of mobile communications technology in Nigeria. They came in 2001, I believe, 2001, that was when they came. And on top of that, like I said, they have a 35% share in the Nigerian market. So basically, they have the widest coverage of any telecom company, more than Airtel, more than Glo, definitely more than 9Mobile, more than any other telecom company in the country. There are places where the only reception you're going to get is that of MTN. And on top of that, they're usually the first to introduce cutting edge technology when it comes to mobile communications technology into the country. Because I think 3G, it was them. 4G, probably them. 5G, definitely them. I think 5G, as at the time I made this video, I am making this video, MTN 5G is live. It went live this morning, today being the 24th of August 2022. MTN's 5G is live. Now, a lot of Nigerians actually, when rated unofficially on an unofficial poll, we get around, and when you ask them what network do you use, I think when it comes to MTN, lots of people tend to have more favorable views compared to the other mobile telecommunication networks, ISPs, internet service providers that are available. MTN, they've got the longest and the farthest reach, and they've also, they have other technologies Momo and other stuff that they do, other businesses that keeps people gainfully employed. I think MTN said that they are going to contribute a lot more. And all that, MTN are huge, basically speaking, without mincing words. Not just, you could look at it from Nigerian point of view and say, yeah, these guys are huge, but in the whole of Africa and in Southeast Asia, MTN are good, and they've done some good things. But this video is not about the good things that MTN have done. Let's talk about why, in fact, the problem with MTN. Let's go. Some of you may be thinking, well, you just listed a lot of good stuff about MTN just now. I never saw the direction this video was going. Well, it's in the title. But no, on a more important note, there is a lot of problem with MTN. And as an active user, I've had my SIM now for, well, September would make it 12 years that I have had my SIM. I bought my SIM on September 2010 after the World Cup in South Africa. So I've had my number now for well over 11 going to 12 years, or that to be 12 years by next month. Active user, I haven't changed my lines or anything. So I think I am well placed to talk about the problems with MTN. Now let's start off with the first one. MTN are a billion-dollar company. I see no reason why they should be shortchanging customers. Now, how does MTN shortchange customers? Well, they do this in several very cleverly mischievous and highly manipulative ways. Absolutely manipulative. Now, let's start with the data plans that they bring out. The data plans, MTN data plans. Oh, that's the first one. I mean, I could, if I wanted to bombard the screen with, like, screenshots or cutouts of Twitter complaints or Facebook complaints about MTN and their data plans. This video is going to be well over an excess of 20 minutes plus, but I am not going to do that. I am going to talk about how MTN data works. Now, basically, like most ISPs in Nigeria do when they sell data, MTN sells data with a bonus attached to it. Now, if you check when trying to purchase such data, it states that it's going to last for like 30 days. Well, there is a caveat that they never tell people about that 30 days in quote. Now, here's what MTN does. In the past, if you bought bonus with data, MTN would start charging the bonus, and when the bonus runs out, then it would charge your main data, the one you bought now. That's how it has always been, and that's how I assumed it was until a few months ago when my bubble burst. Now, here is how it works now. MTN gives you data and bonus. Now, it charges half of the bonus and then switches over to your main data. They did not tell anybody they were going to do that. Now, it is only after finishing your half of your main data plan before it will then switch over to the bonus. Now, if that were the case, there wouldn't be any problem with that. The bonus doesn't last up to 30 days. Whoosh, burn. Now, most of the time, for example, someone like me that I do on average a 24 gigabyte plan on average, 24 gigabytes. I end up merely using around 18 or thereabouts if I'm lucky. And usually in 2 weeks, the data is gone. Now that's for me, I'm speaking for myself now. But I have seen lots of cases where people are, like people who use way more data than I do. People who sub 70 gig or 80 gig plans complaining that their data doesn't last more than 2 weeks. And this could possibly be one of the reasons why your data doesn't last more than 2 weeks, 3 weeks if you're lucky. But I don't think in the past 6 months I have used data up to 1 month. No matter how religiously or how judiciously I try to use it, it doesn't work. Now, another thing that they do that I think catches people off guard is, well, the YouTube bonus. Whenever you buy data, there's a YouTube bonus attached and it's supposed to run from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. It doesn't work. That's the fact. Whether you have whether there's, because I have those nights, they just accrue up. I have around 80 gigabytes or thereabouts just sitting there doing absolutely nothing. I am unable to use it because when I try to use such plan, instead of MTN to bill me from the YouTube bonus, they bill me from my actual data plan. And I had no idea this was a thing. I don't know when that started, but usually before, when it was 11 p.m. and flight mode on, flight mode off, you can refresh your network connection that way and then use the YouTube night plan. Doesn't work. It starts deducting from your main bonus. I think there was a time I had some form of insomnia, and I spent a lot of time like awake at night watching YouTube, and I was like, safe in the idea that I am using from my YouTube bonus. No, that was my data plan going. And lots of people do not really realize this. And so the data runs. Now, if that is not bad enough, here's something that happened quite recently. I did a data plan of 500 megabytes, and I wanted to download the show, and I downloaded the said show. The said show was around 300 megabytes. So obviously, if I did a 500 megabyte plan and I downloaded a 300 megabyte file, it stands to reason that I'm going to have like around 180-ish, 200 megabytes left, around that amount. So I finished downloading like the file, and I was like, let me go check my balance. I saw that I still had 350 MB left from a plan of 500 MB after downloading a file of 300 MB. Where did I get the extra megabytes to download from? It was my data plan. And things like this happen. I am not kidding you. I think lots of people watching this video would probably agree. Like if you don't believe me, well, you can try it out tonight. Just try and see. Like, what? I mean, even the YouTube night stuff, initially I thought maybe I was a little cuckoo, right? I had a little paranoia. So I ran my data down. I completely emptied my data plan. I didn't recharge, and I tried to watch YouTube. It did not work. I called customer service. And they're like, oh, we're so sorry, we're going to refresh your line. Please go to your settings and turn off proxy port 8080 and it will work. It worked for about 5 minutes and then it went off again. Wouldn't work. I turned off my phone, I turned it back on. Flight mode on, flight mode off. Still didn't work. This is a very, very cruel and mischievous ways that MTN is trying to get people to run their data plans down very quickly and then force them to buy new ones in order to make more money. It is not just wicked, it is evil. It is absolutely evil what MTN are doing. I mean, they are $1 billion company, for Christ's sakes. Why would they feel that they need to change their customers in their biggest market that gives them 1/3 of their revenue, according to Wikipedia? Well, your guess is as good as mine. Now, if that is not bad enough, like changing users or customers, telling them they're buying certain amount of data and then going through backdoors to siphon their data. Let's not even talk about like how people basically simply have their data vanish. Their data just whoosh, like somebody maybe recharged 70 or 80 gig and then without even using it, without downloading anything, the next thing I'm checking and they are seeing only 50 gig left. Like, where did 20 gig or where did 30 gig go to? But that's for data. Let's talk about their pop-ups. I mean, I did the DND. I am absolutely sure I did it. I still have the text message, I believe, that Ash specifically requested for a DND. I do not want to be disturbed with any pop-ups. The pop-ups still keep coming. And the pop-ups are made in such a way that there is only one button on the pop-up. Click OK. And you pay for something that you had no plan of using at all. Like, why is MTN so greedy? The pop-up just comes in. If you absent-mindedly, by any chance, like click on that pop-up message, the next thing you get billed 15 naira for Hello Tunes for the next 1 month. I never told you I wanted any Hello Tunes. Let's not even talk about their spam calls, 605 or is it 606? I know it should be 60 something that just calls you out of the blue for no reason. That's annoying. But like making pop-ups in a way that you have no choice but to click them. I mean, usually I think I am smart to it now. As soon as I get the pop-up, I do not hurry to click. I just simply hit the power button on my phone and then put it back on and then it's gone mostly. But lots of people actually do not realize this. And I know because, well, MTN takes several hundreds of naira from my mom monthly. And she's like, what do I do? And I'm like, I really don't know how to fix this. This is MTN. The only thing I can do is apply for a DND for you and let's see how that goes. That's really bad from MTN. Now, whilst MTN are busy trying to get their customers to spend money that they necessarily do not want to spend or do not need to spend, let's not talk about like how bad their network is. I mean, once upon a time, I could stand. In fact, I would go to war on behalf of MTN in the ISP wars, because it's actually kind of like a thing where users of like different ISPs come together and then they make jokes at each other's expense. Now, the green one in Nigeria is always known for being, well, latency and what's the word to use now? But basically, they come last. Like, you could be following live scores and everybody from the other lines are screaming, it's a go! It's 5 minutes later before the person from the green network will start saying it's a go after everyone else has moved on. Like, we make jokes like this with each other. I would have gone to war for MTN's sake about how reliable their network is. Not so much so recently. MTN network sometimes can just... Why it's actually pisses me off the most is because I am a gamer. And if you play PUBG, right? If you play PUBG or if you play eFootball and you go through the ranks, you've made it all the way up to Crown, or you made it all the way up to Division 2 or Division 3 in eFootball, and you're playing a match, you're winning 1-0, and you're trying to hold on, it's 80 minutes, and then your network bar just gives you an X. It's frustrating. MTN network is bad. And I don't know, they have 5G now. I don't know how 5G is going to turn out. I mean, funny enough, I am actually one of the lucky ones because there is a cell tower next door, right? There's a cell tower stone throw away. I barely have to walk 3 minutes to get there. So I'm actually like one of the lucky ones. I'm not living far away from the cell tower, and I still get network outages. And it's like, but why would a company, a multi-billion-dollar company, be having such issues? Oh dear. Now, whilst all of these are going on, Let's talk about MTN VoLTE. Now, VoLTE or VoLTE, Voice over LTE, is a type of LTE or 4G network that allows you to make voice calls over data. Now, for the more perceptive of you that must have noticed this, you would see that when you're on a 4G network and you make calls, you basically like you're trying to make a call, or a call comes in, your network immediately drops from 4G to 3G or H+. This is because LTE is for data, not for calls. I think lots of people should know this by now. So whenever you want to make a call, it is the 3G network that is supporting the 4G that you used to make that call. Now, for someone like me who plays games a lot and I rely on my data and I don't have a Wi-Fi, I have gotten into, I've had issues with my family members for calling me in the middle of a game. Like, sometimes you have to make the choice. Do I answer this call and lose this match? Or do I busy this call and then get queried and win the match? Because basically that is what it is at the end of the day. So most of the time I mostly only play at night when I know I'm not going to get any calls, because if I try to play during the daytime, there are times I could sit down for hours on end doing absolutely nothing. I'm like, if you guys are going to call me, you better call me now. You better call me now. Call me now. Absolutely. Nobody calls, and I'm like, okay, it's safe. I'm clear to play. And I get into the game, and then the next thing. So voice over LTE changes the game entirely. It means that now I don't have to make that choice. I can receive a voice call over LTE, and it's all sweet and good. Now, nearly every phone made after 2019 essentially supports VoLTE. I guess nearly every mid-range phone should support VoLTE. Absolutely. MTN made VoLTE and then assigned it to one specific group of companies, despite the fact that all other brands, the iPhone, Samsung, Xiaomi, Huawei, Oppo, Vivo, Juni, Umidigi, all support VoLTE. But MTN is giving, I don't, it makes no sense to me. Like, I received a call from my buddy, Ayo. Ayo was like, Jeff, I'm seeing VoLTE on my smartphone. And I'm like, cool, MTN has launched VoLTE. And it's like, have you gotten it? It's in your location. And I'm like, no, I'm just hearing about this from you. I checked, turned my phone, turned it off until I went to their page and I saw that it's restricted for. I mean, how did they even do it? That it's only phones from a certain, I don't know, did they submit all the IMEIs or the IMS? I don't get it. I actually don't. But that is wrong. So what MTN is trying to do now is, like, they are basically biased. They are giving one brand a leg over others. So if you want VoLTE, you have to go and buy from that brand because they support it while the rest people do not. It's cheap, it's underhanded, and it's stupid from MTN. Seriously. They should open VoLTE. Anybody, so long as your smartphone has the facility to support VoLTE, you should be able to use VoLTE. But no, it belongs to this certain brand and is supported. Trash. Absolute trash. Finally, let's talk about data security and breaches. Oh, that's another one. Again, multi-billion-dollar company. Again, allowing data breach and security risks. It's actually quite shameful on the part of MTN. Now, two good instances. Someone was trying to call me, and I didn't pick up, and then the call forwarded, and the person was like, "Did you forward your calls?" And I'm like, why would I want to forward my call? But your calls are forwarded. And then I got another line. I called myself. My calls were forwarded. Why would my calls be forwarded without my permission? It's either MTN did it, or somebody has accessed MTN to get my details. If that is not bad enough, banks are registering people, because definitely your phone number and everything, I think, contains a lot of information about you. FCMB, I'm going to call their name, they will not do me anything. FCMB were trying to open an account for me. They had my name, they had my age, basically everything I filled on the KYC and gave to MTN. And they had my phone number. And, I could have said it was my BVN, but then my BVN had all my numbers, so definitely I would have received something on my other lines, but I did not get anything on my other lines. It's the one I registered with MTN. So from people getting access to the MTN framework to forward the calls of others, or banks using people's phone numbers to create accounts for them that they did not solicit for, MTN has a lot to do. They do. MTN have a lot to do. Now, for a billion-dollar company, this is, no company is above these things. These things happen. Operational hazards and stuff, these things do. But some of it on MTN's part are willful. The first thing they need to do is to go back and fix their data services or their data algorithms or whatever it is that they call it. They need to fix it. Economy is hard. Unless maybe you grow money from trees or you are a fraudster. That's the only way you can get money to continuously feed the MTN machine so that their shareholders will go home happy. But it's actually very unfair what they are doing with the data and their pop-ups that are designed to make people spend unnecessary amounts of money that they're not supposed to be spending. Then the vote. They should do that vote, because on behalf of all Nigerian gamers, I am begging you, MTN, on behalf of all Nigerian gamers, please give us votes. Please, not all of us use that brand. Not all of us want to use that brand. And then fix your security. Please, and thank you. Name is Jeffrey once more. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, share this video with your friends or anybody that MTN has done to. Because MTN at this point in time, MTN, they carry me, they go. They carry me, they go. I don't know.